In this session, we'll see how a VLAN can be created using Cisco Packet Tracer. So VLAN is nothing but virtual LAN connection. So LAN indicates the network of nodes of a smaller range. Now virtual LAN means we're going to create a LAN which is not physical connection, but logically we're going to group a certain segments or a set of nodes so that the LAN is created for based on the services or on the type of work it is being done. Say, for example, we have a LAN for one organization and they have 3 floors. So now each floor is having 3 LANs and each group is doing certain kind of work. Now these are all fixed connection. Now how is a LAN created? Through the links and with a set of nodes. Suppose we want to change the configuration. Say we want to increase 2 more nodes to LAN 2. Then what happens? We have to add extra links. So extra physical connection has to be added. Now with the virtual LANs, you don't have to add extra links. Instead, logically we can move 2 systems from one group to another group. So that is the advantage of VLAN. So virtually we can create LANs without having to add any new physical connections. Or if you want to add and remove any 2 systems, you can do that using this VLAN concept. So it is just logically connections and not physical connections. So you can see how these groups are created. So there is a switch for each LAN and it is finally connected with the router. In order to interact between 2-3 LANs, you would require a router. Now we can logically segment. Now this is done horizontal grouping using physical connection. Now we can create a virtual LAN, say one PC from one on the floor 3, then one from floor 2, then from one from floor 1. So you can group this as VLAN 1. And similarly, another group you can create it as VLAN 2 and another group as VLAN 3. So now this is a logical connection. So there is no need to move a PC or create a new connection, add new physical links. So you can logically do this using virtual LAN concept. And once you've divided, then you can group these groups for a set of purpose or a set of services which each group does it. So you can group those systems, say, which is working on the engineering services, and you can have another set of group which is working on the marketing services, another group which is working on the accounting services. So based on the services also, you can create logically groups. Or if you want, you can also change the order of the groups. So you have so many flexibilities and advantages of VLAN. And what is VLAN exactly? So VLAN is nothing but a bigger broadcast domain is broken down into a smaller broadcast domain, and all the pieces within a VLAN can broadcast the message. So here you can see an example how the whole LAN is divided into 3 separate LANs using one or more switches. For each LAN, there is one switch, and then it is finally connected with the router to a main organization. So this router is one for an organization. This can be connected to other routers in the computer network. So this can interact with the outside world. So we'll see with an example what is the advantage of VLANs. Suppose there was no VLAN. So you can see the connection like this block diagram. So for each LAN, you have a switch and which is connected to a router, and each can be considered as a network with a different network ID. So there are different network for each LAN connection, and they have a different switch. Now with the VLAN, what is the advantage? So you can group all these hosts into one network, into one group, and which is logically grouped into separate LANs. and still they have a different IP address, but they're all connected to one switch. And this in turn is connected to a router. This router acts as a connector to the outside world. So you have an advantage that here the 3 switch is reduced to 1 switch, but we still have a different IP address. If required, you can also change the IP address. We can make all this as one IP address and also subdivide it into logically subnet IDs. So you can also avoid the different IP network for each LAN, and also can remove the extra switches that is required for each LAN. So finally, we can define VLAN as a logical grouping of network of devices. So basically, VLAN is breaking the large broadcast domain into smaller broadcast domain. And you can also consider that each VLAN as a one subnet. And how does two subnets communicate with each other? Now, two subnets can communicate only with without a router, you cannot communicate. So you require a router to communicate between two subnets. So similarly, even for two different VLANs, we require a router. And all the PCs within the VLAN is broadcasted. All the messages, whatever packet is sent, it is broadcasted within the VLAN. So what is the advantages of VLAN is that whatever the broadcast problems is there, that is solved easily because it is not going to broadcast to everyone. So it is going to broadcast only to the relevant host which is working on a particular service. And the size of the broadcast domain is also reduced because we have logically grouped it into separate domains. So you can add an additional layer of security because you're dividing the broadcast domain, and separately you can give access control to forward the packets. And device management is easier. How is this device management easier? That is, you can shift one host to another host without having to make any physical connection. And you can also group make a LAN or a group of devices by the services they do rather than on the location that is based. So that is the grouping of devices. See, even though there are 3 different locations, we are grouping it into uh, based on the services they are doing. So that is the advantage of um, grouping of devices based on the services rather than on the location. Now, how do we configure VLANs? There are 2 types. One is static connection and dynamic connection. In statically, the network administrator is going to configure the port by port, telling that which LAN it belongs to. And whereas dynamic, they have a software which does the configuration of it. So we'll be doing statical connection of VLANs so that we can understand how a VLAN exactly works. Now, basically, all the hosts are connected to switches, and then switches connected to a router. So each switch has to be configured to which LAN it belongs to. And all the host or all the port assigned to VLAN will broadcast the packets. So basically, VLAN is connected using a switch. And there are 2 types of connection. One is called trunk link and one is access link. So an access link is connected to a device which has a NIC card or which has an IP address. And the trunk link is a link that is connected to another switch or to a router, which helps in connections of or establishing multiple VLANs. So it's usually connected to a switch or to a router. So when do we use access link and when do we use trunk link is that if a switch has to connect to a PC, then access link is chosen. And if a switch has to be connected to a switch or to a router, then the trunk link is chosen. So we'll see the commands that is required. This is another example how a trunk port is assigned. So the access port link looks like this, and the trunk port is in crossover link. So what is the advantage of trunk link is that it has more speeds because it has to maintain multiple VLANs. So it will usually have around the range of 100 to 1000 Mbps. Now we'll see the commands that is used to create a VLAN. Say we want to create two VLANs, say VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. So the command is go to the config terminal. On this particular switch, go to the configuration mode, then give the command VLAN 10, and you can also give a name to it. So we have created two LANs with the department CSE and ISE. Now, how do we configure all these links as a VLAN? Now, there are multiple links. Now, how does the switch knows that this link belongs to VLAN 10 and this LAN VLAN 20? So you have to go to the command line and configure that. So first find out which interface it is. So if it is 01 and 02, then you have to give the command that it is VLAN 10. So the commands to create this VLAN is first go to the interface, then give the command switch port mode access, then give the command as switch port access VLAN. Similarly for the other interface, and for FA03 and FA04, you are going to give the command as VLAN 20 because these two interface belongs to VLAN 20. So this is 03 and 04. So these two are configured as VLAN 20. This is 01 and 02, which is configured as VLAN 10. There's a shortcut also to do that. So first, we'll configure all the range between all the interface as mode access link, and then you can go to the particular interface and then assign the VLAN ID, which indicates which interface belongs to which VLAN. So once these link are assigned which VLAN it belongs to, the switch will just forward the packets. So if the packet is VLAN, it will just forward to the VLAN 10. It will broadcast to that VLAN 10. So any packet coming from this PC will just broadcast it to this one, not to the other VLAN. So if you have multiple PCs, any packet coming from this VLAN is broadcasted. So there's no routing table, it will only broadcast all the packets to that particular VLAN. Because it's a two-layer switch, so there is no routing table, so it's not going to route according to the table. So it's just going to broadcast within the network. And suppose we want to create extend the VLAN, say like this. This is one VLAN. We want to extend one more VLAN. We want to connect multiple VLANs. So there are two switches. To connect two switches, we need to have a trunk link. So the command for trunk link is that just go to that interface and give the mode as switch port mode trunk. So this command will ensure that that link has a trunk mode, and it will ensure that proper packets are transferred. Now we'll see how to do this using the Cisco Packet Tracer. First we'll create three VLANs, and then later we'll see how a VLAN can be extended. So first I'll take the switch. Now we'll start adding the PC. So initially you can see there's orange color. So that is that it is not yet linked. So the IP address is not linked. So after sometimes this orange color will turn green color. That is because there is a protocol that is followed by the switches. Now, as we start inserting the PCs, these nodes will communicate with each other using called as bridge protocol units. So based on this protocol, it will It will find out which is the host that is there, and it will update its details. You can see it's all become green color. So we'll make this one as VLAN 10. This one as VLAN 20. This is VLAN 30. Or we'll just configure all the PCs with the IP address. We'll start with 2, 10.2, 10.3 like that. So I'll continue. This is 10.3. So we've just configured the IP address. So we don't require a gateway because we're not connecting it to a router. This is just a simple example just to show how a VLANs can be created using a switch. So I'm making it all the same network ID in one network ID. We have different hosts. So now in switch, what happens? All the packets are broadcast. So we can send a message from one host to any other host. So you can see PC0 to PC4 is successful. I'll connect to the second LAN. So PC0 to PC2. This is also successful. Okay. So that is because the switch will broadcast all the packets and all the packets will be broadcasted to all the hosts within the one LAN, that is it. Now we have to create a separate VLAN so that any message that is broadcasted in VLAN 10 should not be sent to VLAN 20 or VLAN 30. So we want to restrict the broadcast only within that particular VLAN. So first we have to create the VLANs so that packets are only broadcast within its VLAN. We'll go to the switch, go to CLI command. First go to the config terminal. So now we can see this command from config. So here we are. So here we'll create the VLAN. So we can name it as CSE. We'll create one more VLAN, 20. We'll name it as IC. Another VLAN, we'll name it as EC. So now we have configured the three VLANs. Now we have to make this link as access link. That is, it can forward only the VLAN 10 packets. So you have to go to each port link and configure it. So first find out which is this interface. So it is 0/1 and 0/2. That is interface for the VLAN 10. Go to the interface FA0/1. Now give the command that is access link, switch port, mode access. Now give the second command, switch port, access VLAN 10. Okay. So this mode will tell you whether you're in access mode or in the trunk. So we are in the access mode. Now we will give which LAN this interface belongs to. Okay, so we were in the interface 0/1. Now do the same thing for the other links also. So you can see there's an orange color. So now it's going to update again because we have restricted the access. So there is a bridge protocol units which will be sent and updating its information. FA02 is also VLAN 10. Now we'll do the same process for the other two links, other two VLANs. So you can check here, this is 3 and 4. This is 5 and 6. This is VLAN 20. Now we'll go to 4, interface 4. Access mode. Now VLAN 20. Exit. Go to the next. So 4 interface is over. Go for 5 and 6. This is 30 LAN, 30 VLAN. Now we'll go to the interface 6. Now we'll send the packet and see whether we can transfer it to the other VLANs. What happens? Now within the LAN, it is successful. Now PC0 to PC4 also. See, it is showing it is failed because it is VLAN 30, because we have configured 3 different LANs. Now we'll send from PC0 to PC2. See, again it fails because we have restricted the access. So you can see now within the LAN it is possible. Across the VLAN it is not possible. So PC2 to PC4, from VLAN 20 to VLAN 30, it is not possible. Okay, this is an example how a simple VLAN can be created, which will restrict the access of the packets, the broadcasting of packets, and it can broadcast only within its own VLAN. So you can see this is one LAN. In that we have virtually divided into multiple LANs using virtual concept. So we're not removing any physical connection or we're not reorganizing it. So that is the advantage of VLAN. Now we'll see how we can extend this to extend this VLAN to another VLAN using a trunk interface. Or how do we connect two switches to a trunk? So I'll just remove these. I'll remove these two links and add a switch. I'll make this as VLAN 10 and this one as VLAN 20. So this example, I'll be showing how across the another LAN also we can group it into one VLAN. So you can see this belongs to another LAN, but I'm still grouping it to VLAN 20. And plus, how do we connect two switches using a trunk interface? So both the things will be shown with this example. So how do we make this as VLAN and VLAN 20? Again, we'll go to this switch, second switch one, go to the command prompt, enable, and click terminal. So here we have to list out which is all the LANs available. So VLAN is created. Now we'll just configure the port, which is this port 01 and 02. So the first interface, that is this one. The first interface is VLAN. With the second interface is VLAN. This is V20, VLAN 20. Now we connect these two switches. We'll send a packet from PC0 to PC4. Okay, it is not possible because this is still not configured. So you cannot send it any VLAN to VLAN because this is not yet configured. So we have to configure this link. So just see the interface name FA05 and this is 03. So go to the router. This is 03 for switch 1. Interface FA03 and then make it as trunk. Okay, that's it. Now go for switch 1 and make the 05 interface as the interface 0, 5 as a trunk. Okay, so both the switches are configured. Now we'll see, can we send the packet? We just have to wait this orange color to become green color. Okay, now it is green color. So we'll check whether can we send from VLAN to VLAN. So it is successful. So PC0 to PC4. Now we'll check the another VLAN from PC3 to PC5. Okay, this is also successful. So can we transfer from VLAN 10 to VLAN 20? So it's failed. So you can see inter VLAN is not possible. So PC3 to PC, see it's failed. So VLAN 20 to VLAN 10 cannot come. So we have seen in this session how to create 3 VLANs and how to extend the VLAN using a trunking.